Hello, SPED 524 students. I wanted to talk to you, and I thought it was best for me to do a video than it was to email or whatever, because there's just several things that I wanted to express to you that needed a little more context and were a little more nuanced than I could put in writing. I really struggled this summer with obviously a lot of things that impacted you, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about that, what happened, what didn't happen, and how I'm going to try to make the course better for students in the future. I don't know if this has to do, pardon me, I don't know if this has to do with uh, this what the fall semester, I'm sorry, fall semester, spring semester versus taking this course in the summer. I don't know. I just know that I was told that you had students in the summer. You might recall I went crazy trying to get you all into an observation setting before the school year ended, and that was crazy. And I was unable to get everybody scheduled. And then I was told you have students in the summer. That's how it was expressed to me. So I quickly undid all of that, and then I found out that you don't all have students in the summer. Well, I held you accountable to that because it's actually written in the, I don't know if it's you sign a contract or what you do, but that's what I'm remembering as a contract. But it's in the student handbook, and you should have been told that you would have students in the summer. But I had a student I saw last week who said that the advisor told her she did not need to have students in the summer. So clearly, this isn't clear. So I'm going to work on this to try to figure out what the rule is and how we can make this better for students next year, especially if this internship falls in the summer. And I'm sorry it impacted you the way that it did, because it was not my intention to make things harder. And if I appeared to be a bit strident, sometimes I would get emails from people like, I don't have students or whatever, and I'd be like, well, not my problem, because you knew what you were supposed to have. Well, maybe you didn't, and that is something that I just really feel bad about. And if I looked ugly to anybody or too strident, I apologize. I kind of thought, like, come on, do what you were supposed to do. Well, I don't think anybody, including me, knew what that was. So anyway, I'll make sure that I know that in the future. And I'm sorry if I made things more difficult, which is what I'm going to talk about next. And that is, I had no idea that you all did an FBA last semester. By the time I realized that, it was too late for me to do anything about it. There were students who were already collecting data and things like that. So I don't mean to make you mad at me, but now, because you've done this work, but I would have totally waived that assignment had I known. I just didn't realize that the assignment had been carried out already. Now, there may be a reason sometimes in terms of state policy or the Council for Exceptional Children stuff. There may be a reason the FBA is in this course and it needs to stay anyway. I don't know that, but I hope I didn't waste your time, because I didn't mean to waste your time. And I just felt badly about that, because I know FBAs take time. They just do. And you have to really dedicate yourself to making sure that you do it right, so that you can turn in good data to me and those sorts of things. That's not easily done. So I will check on that. I'm sorry if it punished you this summer, because it's just not the intention I had at all. Also, one thing that I know was driving some people crazy, and I wasn't quite sure how to respond, were the presentation guidelines for the presentation that you do for your administrator. And I gave you something, I wrote something on the announcement page on D2L and gave you a little more context. And I still had people saying, you know, I'm not really sure what you wanted me to do. So when I went out to the field and I saw everybody, the presentations were stellar. I mean, and it was exactly what I wanted you to do. I mean, it was exactly what I wanted you to focus on in your presentation. So that leads me to believe I was correct. Here's what I had in mind. You're all in the LBS2 program. You're all school leaders already. And you are preparing yourselves to be leaders, hopefully in a more significant way. Oftentimes, this happens to me, it happens in schools. You know, you just get something dumped on your desk, or, you know, do this presentation on blah, 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 or write this thing up for, and you get very little information, and you pretty much have to do it. I mean, do it with the limitations that you have, including no template, which a lot of times I would give people for an assignment like that. So I just wanted you to go with it. I thought your leaders go with it. And you did, and it went really, really well. So when I got out in the field and I talked to people, most of you, I would say, maybe all of you, said, I really didn't know what you wanted. Like, you know, I hope this is right. I hope this is good. It was right. It was good. So I want you to think about that, because I'm taking feedback, and what I'm going to do, as soon as I finish this up, is put just something on the, let's see, which one are you? You have 2 classes online. You guys have discussions. So I'm going to put at the bottom of the discussion page suggestions for the course. And I'd like you to give me feedback about things that you could see that needed to be changed, including things like, you know, an FBA 2 semesters in a row. And also about the presentation guidelines. I'm really happy the way it turned out, and I think I did it right, but you might, you know, even if you did a spectacular job on your presentation, which really most of you, all of you did, you know, even if that were the case, you might still go, there was no reason for me to have to dig this deep to figure out what you wanted or whatever, okay? So I'm not saying because it worked out well, it was the right thing to do. I've gone through about half the FBAs and the presentations and the professional development plans, and they are stellar. I mean, really stellar. I'm so pleased. So you don't need to worry after maybe a chaotic summer that it's going to affect grades somehow, because this looks really good. I've gotten incredible responses from you, and I'm really pleased. It's no wonder to me that you're in the LBS2 program and you're leaders in the field. The last thing I want to say is I don't want to take any responsibility away from myself in terms of how the course went, or things that I'm talking about that I'd like your feedback on. However, now I'll absolve myself. We're down to like 5 faculty. I think when I started here 10 or 11 years ago, we had, I don't want to give a number because I don't remember, but it was like between 10 and 15 faculty. We are working like crazy people. So one of the things that's happening is this. In the old days, I generally taught 2, 3, 4 classes, and we all did the same thing, and we had our expertise in different areas. And so basically, if you took, for example, consultation and collaboration, you would almost always have me. And so I knew the course well. And if somebody else taught the course, they would come to me and they would make certain that the course was taken care of in a way, or I would make sure that they took care of the course in a way that there was a lot of continuity. What's happening now is, frankly, to get you through school, and this is for all of our students, not just the LBS2, we just offer courses where we can put them in, where we can get a faculty to teach them, and that's what happened this time. I got put in this experience, and I think I said at the beginning, if I don't recall now, but if I didn't, I did go over this syllabus with someone. So as I said in the beginning, it's what I had, it's what I thought should work, etc., etc. We've just gotten put in this position way too many times, and it makes us look like, I think, it would make me think if I were a student, that we were very disorganized. We really didn't have like a set progression for you to follow, those sorts of things. And we feel bad about it. We talk about it all the time. The woman who was the designer of and the head of the LBS2 program only left, I think, like a year ago, year and a half. And she was in charge of everything. And by that, I mean, she knew everything because she wrote it. She knew the program really well. So we would just acquiesce to her, whatever she said. So we really miss that resource. Dr. Yonak is doing a really good job, but she's coming into it the same way I am, where we're really learning something new. So anyway, with all that said, I appreciate your patience. If I don't see you around or see you online or whatever, I hope you have a great summer. It's been a pleasure to work with you. You're really all very, very talented, and you should feel good about that. Be proud of yourselves for the good work that you're doing. Okay? Take good care.